as I go within, quiet peace, offer something sacred. There's a sweetness that waits, holiest embrace that reminds me I'm always home as I go within, quiet peace, offer something sacred. There's a sweetness that waits, holiest embrace that reminds me I'm always home. It's here that I am always home.
Good evening. I am Brian Atkins. I have been a practitioner at Seaside for 12 years, and I will be doing your reading this evening. But first, I invite you to join me in churning within. For I know that God is all there is. God is that all-loving, caring source of divinity and inspiration that permeates everything and everyone. Is the beauty that surrounds us all. And I know that we are all one with God. We are one with this source of love and caring and compassion. Like the colors of the rainbow, each of us is that unique divine expression of God. Closer to us than our breath, that is where God is. And I give thanks in advance in knowing that this service at Seaside this evening is divinely blessed. And that each of us receives exactly that which we are here for. As the words flow forth from Reverend Debbie McDonnell's lips, each of us is touched. Each of us receives a shift, a new outlook, a new shift in consciousness. And we, in turn, take that new outlook out into the world and pass it on to others. And consciousness expands throughout the world. And so I simply turn this time over to the hands of God and know that it is perfect. And so it is. So tonight's theme is beauty, and the following are some sections from the Science of Mind text on the concept of beauty. On oneness. It is that thread of the all-sustaining beauty which runs through all and doth unite all. On friendship. In order to have this friendship enduring, true, really worthwhile, and a thing of beauty, we should cultivate an attitude of friendship toward everybody and everything. On the law. The law will be working automatically. We must forget everything else and let our word be spoken with a deep inner realization of love, beauty, peace, poise, power, and of the great presence of life at the point of our own consciousness. And finally, on beauty itself, I behold the beautiful and the pleasant. My eyes see only that which is beautiful to look upon. I will not see anything else nor believe in anything else. I know that beauty has entered into my life and will always remain there. I see only the beautiful. Now I invite you all to come up and light a candle.
dread, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. Oh, divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as I console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it's in giving that we receive, and it's in pardon that we are pardoned, and it's in dying that we are born to eternal life. Oh, divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it's in giving that we receive, and it's in pardon that we are pardoned, and it's in dying that we are born to eternal life. Amen.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. So centering. Welcome. It's good to see everybody here this evening. Take a time out for yourself midweek to come and renew and connect with Source. I'm glad that you're here. Thank you, Ari and Jim, always. Lovely. Thank you, Brian. Beautiful prayer. Thank you. Thank you. Well, as you might know, we're in the midst of 40 days of creativity here at Seaside. We had our Mardi Gras last weekend, and we have these lovely banners on the wall that all the local artists and our Seaside artists painted, and they're going to be auctioned off in a few weeks. Our sacred circles are going, which are based on our daily guide, the 40 Days of Creativity, as well as Dr. Christian's Sunday message that is shared in our sacred circles at a deeper level. So my talk title tonight is The Art of God, staying with the creativity theme. And it's a subject that's really dear and near to my heart. I am fascinated by the connection between creativity and spirituality, between creativity and healing, and how all three of those things interact with each other. And there's a lot written about it, and it's a thing that's just exciting to me. I love to read and study and look at all the new things that are coming out around that topic. I think if I was to do a doctorate or a dissertation, that would be the subject that I would choose, is art and creativity. And the art of God specifically. What is the art of God? I think it's everything. Everything that we see in the manifest world is the art of God. The sunset, how often have you been at the beach and seen a sunset and said, oh my gosh, God did a great job tonight. Great job, great sunset. Or to be in the woods or to see a beautiful flower. All of that is just the beauty, the art of the divine. To see a child's face, the twinkly eyes, the eyes of your lover, all of that is the is the art of God, God's handiwork. And it's just an amazing thing to take time to look at all the beauty in the world. And that beauty is really a vital part of our society. Marcia Sinitar, in her book, Elegant Choices, Healing Choices, which is one of the books we use in practitioner training. We've used it as long as I can remember. But in that, she tells a story of when she was a teacher, just a brand new teacher working in a primary school. She had first graders, and she was working at an inner city school in sort of a ghetto environment. And what she did and what she felt she wanted to do was to bring something into the classroom. So she'd bring often fresh flowers into the room. And at that time, she felt that she spent a large amount of money on fresh flowers to bring and to have in the classroom. And what she observed, or what she thought she observed, was that the children behaved better when there was flowers in the classroom. And she shared this with her other teachers, and they said, "You're crazy. You're dreaming. That is not true." And but she felt something deeper was going on. She really believed that there was a connection between the beauty and the behavior of the children. And so she continued. She continued to bring flowers, and she introduced good music, and she would play music for the children, and she brought in art and photography, and she had these beautiful things displayed in the classroom. She would bring in guest speakers that could read literature in a beautiful way, turn a phrase in just the right way. And what she noticed is that the children started paying more attention. They really started to appreciate the things around them. They would come up after class and touch the things that she had brought in and feel them and see what they were like. And they would whisper to her in their shy little voices, "We really like this. We really like this." And what she noticed is they started to keep their desks neater. And they started to keep their supplies in a little nicer way. And they were more concerned with how their artwork looked, or that their composition book wasn't smudged. And what she found was that they rose to the level of the beauty in the room. And that they became proud of themselves, and they became proud of their accomplishments. And so what she came to learn and discover from that was that even a touch of beauty can affect us physically and emotionally, to just have a touch of beauty around. And she went on to do a lot of work around that subject. Alfred North Whitehead, who was a philosopher, he said this: "Science's exclusion of aesthetics was its most disastrous error." You know, and he went on to say that a society that doesn't have aesthetics built into the very fiber of its being cannot survive, that we need to have that beauty, we need to have that culture, we need to have that in the very fiber of our whole society. And we see that when we go back even to as far back as we know, with the cave paintings and the clothing and the attire and the jewelry and all of the aesthetics that our early forefathers and mothers had, that there was always that sense of beauty. James Hillman said, "Without beauty, we are dead to the world." Yeah. Jack Kornfield, who is a Buddhist monk and teacher, he did a lecture or workshop entitled "Turn Toward the Beautiful, Creativity as a Path of Liberation." And the workshop became an audio book, an audio CD, and you can get it and you can listen to it. And he talks a lot about this idea of being aware of the beauty around us. Being aware of the beauty around us as a path to enlightenment, as a path to transformation. And he's not just talking about artists, he's not just talking about people that we would consider creative people. He's talking about all people to practice that, to practice taking the time to see the beauty around us. You know, we live in this place that is magnificent. We live in this beach town of Encinitas, and it's gorgeous, or we live close by anyway. And how often do we drive up Coast Highway and the beach is right there and we don't even see it? We forget. We forget to look. We forget to pause. We forget to see the beauty that's all around us. Are you stopping to see all the signs of spring that are emerging right now? All the little buds on the trees and the flowers that are coming out and the bulbs that are coming up from the earth ready to blossom? Take the time. Take the time. to literally smell the roses, to be there, to see. When we were children, at least I know for me, summers seemed to last forever. And I think that was because we were fully present in our body, fully present to the moment. We weren't thinking about next week or the bills or what we had to do. We were so present in the moment that summer just lasted forever. And a summer day could go on forever. And I would just remember laying on the grass and looking at clouds for hours. Looking at the clouds form all their different forms, taking on the form of a sheep or a dog or a heart or whatever it was that my imagination saw. Or really noticing nature. I can remember being down on my hands and my knees with my nose to the sidewalk, watching a caterpillar, amazed at that caterpillar and how it had the furry little body, and that thing became a butterfly, and how could that happen? And so paying attention in detail to the beauty all around, to the blossoms in a flower. You remember looking and seeing the petals in the middle and the stamina in the middle and the petals all around. And, the same thing goes with our grandchildren and our children. Aren't they great gifts? Because they get us to slow down and look. I mean, isn't it fun to take a child out into nature and show them all these new and wonderful things, to touch the bark of the tree and feel the roughness of it, or to see the leaves turning colors, or to blow on the dandelion and watch all the little white specks flutter around. All of those things that we paid such close attention to as a child. The DVD that was on when you came in, I don't know if you had a chance to see some of those images, but that DVD is called I Photographed God. And that photographer, that's his vision. All those insects and even the snake. Did you see the snake? And the snake was God, and the insect was God, and the birds were God, and the landscapes were God. Just magnificent. Ralph Waldo Emerson says this: never lose an opportunity to see anything that is beautiful. It is God's handwriting, a wayside sacrament. Welcome it in every fair face, every fair sky, and every fair flower. So what I'm really talking about is sacred attention, mindfulness. Jack Kornfield, I think I said, he was a Buddhist monk. He was trained as a Buddhist monk, so he came from that perspective, of that very Zen perspective, of being in the moment, making your life that sacred life, that everything that you do is a ritual, whether it be the dishes or writing your bills or doing the laundry, that we're fully present to it. And when we are in that place of absolute awareness, when we are in that place of absolute connection, everything that we do becomes that act of awareness, that act of mindfulness. Are we consciously seeing the beauty in the world? Or are we seeing what's wrong? Are we seeing what's not working? I had the opportunity recently to work with a consultant as a client, as a practitioner client. And it was very interesting because the consultant was trained to see what was wrong, to go into a business, to go into a place and see what wasn't working, to look for the problems. And so it was a really difficult shift for him to see what was working, to see what was beautiful, to see what was flowing and working and jiving, and it was just in that great divine flow. And that's what I'm asking here, is are you taking the time to see what is working? Are you taking the time to see what is beautiful? Or are you noticing the crack in the sidewalk, as opposed to the beauty all around it? There's a beautiful story by Rumi that I'm going to read to you. Tending two shops, he talks about this idea. Don't run around the world looking for a hole to hide in. There are wild beasts in every cave. If you live with mice, the cat claws will find you. The only real rest comes when you are alone with God. Live in the nowhere that you came from, even though you have an address here. That's why you see things in two ways. Sometimes you look at a person and you see a cynical snake. Someone else sees a joyful lover, and you're both right. Everyone is half and half, like the black and white ox. Joseph looked ugly to his brothers and most handsome to his father. You have eyes that see from that nowhere and eyes that judge distances, how high and how low. You own 2 shops and you run back and forth. Try to close the one that's a fearful trap, getting always smaller. Checkmate this way, checkmate that. Keep open the shop where you're not selling fish hooks anymore. You are the free swimming fish. Rumi, tending 2 shops. Which shop are you tending? Which one do you want to keep open? Which one do you want to close? You know, as we connect with the divine, it allows us to connect with each other in a deeper way. So if we are taking our time to be mindful, if we are taking our time to really connect with the divine throughout the day, then even our relationships will be more harmonious. We will be more connected to each other. We will be more connected to the earth. When we don't take the time to connect, that loss of attention leads to a disharmony. It's not that we're ever separate from God, because we know we can't be, but it's in the conscious connection, it's in the conscious awareness that we just get that little extra flow. I mean, ask anybody who has a daily spiritual practice that when they skip their practice for that day, they notice it. You know, if we're connecting with Source every day, we're in the flow. Things are good. Things are unfolding. That doesn't mean difficulties come up. But you know what happens is that we're able to see even the beauty in the difficulties because we've been practicing. We've been practicing. Beauty is a healing salve for our heart and for our soul. For our physical body, our emotional body, our mental state. Listening to good music, watching a gorgeous sunset, or watching a skilled dancer move across the floor. It's soothing. It's peaceful. I know for me, the minute I stand on a beach, I can breathe deeper. You know, you see the ocean, and you're just like, okay, I feel God. Sometimes the greatest political act can be turning on Mozart and turning off the news. You know, what are we choosing? Take a hike, read a poem. Dante, the Italian poet, he said, nature is the art of God. And isn't that so true? We just can't look at the beauty in nature and not see some divine hand in it all. I have it here in Italian. Let me attempt this. La natura è l'arte di Dio. Nature is the art of God. The writings of John Muir speak of this majestic world that he witnessed and that he saw. He felt the connection of the divine when he was in his mountains, when he was in Alaska, when he was doing all of his travels in the 1800s. You know, I had the opportunity as a young girl to go hiking. My father was a Boy Scout leader, and he didn't have any sons, so we got to do the things that he didn't have my brother until much later. So we got to go hiking with my dad, my sister, and I. We were 10, 11, 12 years old. We went for a couple years in a row. We went a 50-mile hike, and we had everything that we had was on our back. And we carried our backpacks along the John Muir Trail in the high Sierras. And I'll tell you, that was one of the most magnificent experiences of my life. To be walking in those woods where nobody else, it seemed like, had been. It seemed like no one had ever been there. You didn't see another soul. Maybe you passed one person a day on the trails. And you would turn the corner. I remember turning this corner and seeing this magnificent lake, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. The flowers were blooming in the meadow, the mountains were in the background, there was white snow up on the top, and you felt you were in heaven. It was absolutely amazing. And we would sit and have our salami or whatever we brought, that dry salami that you could take on your backpacking trips with you, and have our lunch and be together in the wilderness. John Muir says this. He said, "I only went out for a walk and finally concluded to stay out till sundown. For going out, I found, was really going in." If you've been to Yosemite or any of those places and seen them, just the majestic sights. Frank Lloyd Wright says, "I believe in God, only I spell it nature." Albert Einstein, "Look deep into nature and you will then understand everything better." Vincent van Gogh, "If you truly love nature, you will find beauty everywhere." So this theme of beauty and God and the divine has been around for a while. If you really want to study and know more, read Emerson. Emerson's essay on nature, his essay on art. He believed that that's where we find the divine. And I know that's true for me. This week I would ask you to pay attention to the beauty all around you, to be mindful, to make every moment a sacred moment as you go through your day. I want to end with a reading for you from The Hilltop Heart. James Dillett Freeman is a Unity writer, Unity minister, has written lots and lots and lots. But he has this, and I thought it said it very well. "Whoever it is loves beauty. Whatever it is that made the world loves beauty. It had to make the sun, perhaps, but not sunsets. It needed rain, but not rainbows. The world would run smoothly without butterflies or roses or redbirds. It would just not be so beautiful. Go out under the night sky and look at the stars that litter the floor of heaven like falling leaves. Go out in the autumn wood and look at the leaves that litter the forest floor like falling stars. Go look at the flowering trees of spring. Go walk through the falling snow. Something is at work here that loves beauty. Can you look at the world around you and believe anything else? I realize that the world is beautiful because I find it so. It is I who love the form and sound of the waves that break on the beach. It is I who love the shape of the trees, the song of a summer stream, the flight of birds. But that I have a sense of the beautiful is no less an indication of what the world is like than that beauty is there to be sensed. For I see ugliness too. And is this not even more remarkable? If beauty were simply my way of looking at things, my way of apprehending what is, why should I see anything else? Above all, why should I see beauty in a storm or a deadly plant or the face of an enemy? A machine make honeybees, hummingbirds, petunias? I do not believe it. Thank you. Let's invite Aria back to the stage for her song. Okay, yay.
I can rest in the playful cooling breeze, and God meets me there. God meets me there. There's a dance in the sky as the clouds go by. There's a song in the air and there's not a care, and God meets me there. God meets me there. And I pray every day that the water runs clear and peace rains down upon this world I hold so dear. And I pray that my mind runs clear and my heart is pure, and I yearn to care, and God meets me there. Under the spell of the crashing waves, I can rest on the sand on a sunny day, and God meets me there. God meets me there. And where the snow-capped peaks reach into the sky, and the hawk and the eagle soar gently by, God meets me there. God meets me there. And I pray every day that the water runs clear and peace rains down upon this world I hold so dear. And I pray every day that my mind runs clear and my heart is pure, and I yearn to care, and God meets me there. I know heaven is right here beneath my feet. Everywhere I go, and I know there is magic in the very air I breathe, for the earth is heaven's altar, life its precious waters. Yes, the earth is heaven's altar, and God meets us here. Precious land where we live and breathe, help me never forget what you mean to me, 'cause God meets us here. God meets us here. And I pray every day that the water runs clear and peace rains down upon this world I hold so dear. And I pray every day that my mind runs clear and my heart is pure, and I yearn to care. God meets me there. God meets me there. God meets me there. God meets me there. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Gorgeous. I know I said it 2 weeks ago, but I'm just amazed. Aria writes most all of her songs, and she has the songs that are just like perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jim. We do have Aria's CDs in the bookstore, so feel free to pick one up. It's time for the offering. I invite the ushers to come on up. We have Dennis. Thank you, Dennis, and his lovely wife, Jenny. Thank you. Thank you. This is the time where we get to practice the law of reciprocity. As you give, you receive. And that's not why we give, but it is definitely a way to prime the pump. So just knowing that anything that you have to offer is welcome, is welcome. So let us go ahead and pray, just turning within. Knowing there is only that one power and that one presence, and it is good and it is God. Knowing that there is an absolute abundance in the world, an abundance of leaves, an abundance of grains of sand on the beaches. Knowing that there is no way to outgive God, because there is just more than enough that anyone could possibly need, flowing in and through and as each individual here. Knowing that we live in this world of absolute abundance, and that it is given with the love and ease and grace. It's with that sense of knowingness that we just let it be. And so it is. Join me in our prosperity prayer. As I give thanks for the good now flowing into my life, I gladly share that good with others. The more I give, the more I receive. I experience a deeper consciousness of peace and security, for I know that I am in the embrace of a warm, loving presence, forever seeking an outlet through me. My cup runneth over. I exist in limitless possibilities. That's Ernest Holmes, by the way. Thank you. once again for being here this evening. You asked for candles. We have candles. I know Reverend Lloyd. Yes, it's a wonderful way, and I heard you all when you said it helps to feel part of, when we set that sacred space, and each one is represented there, so it's beautiful, so thank you. Thank you for your suggestions. I'm open to anything that you'd like to see here on Wednesday nights, anything that we're not doing, that you missed, that you would like. Please talk to me in the family room afterwards. I really want to hear what you have to say. I want to thank all those people that helped make Wednesday night possible. Thank you, Brian, practitioner here, always with me on the third Wednesday. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Ari and Jim, once again. Thank you. We have Matt as our sound guy for the first time. Great job. Good, Matt. Gregory on the podcast. Thank you, Gregory. And Ginny and Dennis Mills, who just give their heart and soul and are here all the time. Thank you. We have 3 of our lovely practitioner interns with us. They are getting ready to graduate soon, and they're in the phase of following and being and doing all the things that practitioners do. We have Vicki and Debbie and Rick all here with us holding the light. Thank you all for being here and being of sacred service. I'll let you know if you're thinking about becoming a member at Seaside, if you've never become a member and you'd like to do that. This Sunday is the new member class, and the following Sunday will be the new member lunch. I think in your programs you have an application. Just go ahead and fill it out and leave it here with Jenny or me or whoever, and we'll get it to the right people if that's something you're interested in. Also, you have 2 flyers, I believe, in your program for James Von Prague, who is coming here on April 17th. We're expecting a sold-out event. They're expecting 500 to 700 people, so it's going to be a big thing. And purchase your tickets, pass the flyer on to your friend. Reverend Tammy's spring class is starting. She's starting a little bit early as she's planning her vacation schedule out. She's starting March 26th with Calling in the One. So if you are looking for that love of your life, or looking at how you can just express yourself and get all ready to receive that person when they show up, join Reverend Tammy. She shared on Sunday that she met Rick by using the principles, and she's married 2 couples so far that have taken her course. So it works. Trudy is here. Trudy is in this 3rd row there. Trudy is one of our Seaside practitioners, and Tuesday has become meditation day here at Seaside. 9 to 10, Trudy's in the Rose Room if you'd like to come meditate. Dr. Christian meditates at noon, and we have a Hugh meditation at 6, a Hugh chanting. So please come and do that. Reverend Lori's here next week, Reverend Lori Mack. Her message is A Peaceful Heart. So you can join her next Wednesday at 7 o'clock. And now I'm going to pray, and then we'll do our closing song. And please stay and join us for cookies and tea afterwards. So just turning within, knowing there is only that one power and that one presence, knowing that God is all that there is only love, there is only light, there is only beauty, there is only joy, knowing that anything that looks other than that just dissipates back into the nothingness. I know that I am one with this love, and just as I know this is true for me, I know it's true for each and every individual here. I know that each one is love expressing, each one is God expressing, and I know and I claim for each one right here and right now the absolute harmony and joy, absolute abundance. If there's anyone that's suffering or in pain, I'm just knowing that the healing is taking place even now, right in this moment. Any physical healing, any emotional healing, any place that feels less than perfect is just healed, held up to the light. And I know for Seaside Center for Spiritual Living that it's a place of absolute joy, it's a place of abundance, it's a place of growth, a place of expansion. I'm just so grateful to know this truth. I am so grateful to speak these words. I'm so grateful to know that God is manifest here. That I just simply release these words into the divine action of the law, knowing it is so, and so it is. Please know our practitioners are available for prayer afterwards. Stand for our closing song.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give up my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, love will up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, love will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. My decision, right here and now.
God bless you. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, I can do that. How's it going?